What is up, everybody? Welcome back to another Pitching Ninja's Filthiest Pitches of the Day. Remember, before we get to those pitches, hit that subscribe button. Be a part of the biggest and best daily baseball show on YouTube. You'll never regret it. And now, without further ado, here are my filthiest pitches of the day. I'm going to start with Chris Bassett, who had 6 Ks in 5 innings, giving up 2 runs. He had this nasty cutter, 2-seamer, and beautiful slow curveball. He faced Julio Urias, who had 5 Ks in 6 innings, giving up 3 runs, and had this cutter. Justin Verlander had 6 Ks in 6 scoreless innings, giving up only 2 hits, although he did have 4 walks. He dominated mostly with his fastballs, although he did have this slider. He faced Domingo Germán, who had 9 Ks in 6 innings, giving up 6 runs, and got Ks on these wicked curveballs, as well as his changeup. Kyle Gibson had 5 Ks in 6 innings, giving up 2 runs, and had these changeups and filthy sweepers. He faced Ty Walker, who had 4 Ks in 5 2/3 innings, giving up 2 runs, and had this sinker and 4-seam fastball. Alex Cobb went 6 innings with 9 Ks, nice, and gave up no runs, also nice. He had these nasty 2-seamers, splitters, and knuckle curves. Because you subscribe to this channel, or are about to, hit that subscribe button. Here are Alex Cobb's pitch grips, including his weird 2-seamer grip.
2-seam's really weird.
What's that?
It's just the way my fingers go.
Interesting. Stroman does that a little bit
Does
too,
he?
I think.
Yeah. So that's my 2-seam. You couldn't get a better ball, huh?
I know. I had one in my backpack.
That's my splitter. And then spike curveball. And then starting to throw this a little slider now.
Oh, nice.
So, trying that
and
one
still
out.
spiking it.
Still spiking it, yep.
Aaron Savali had 6 Ks in 8 innings, giving up only 1 run, and had this dirty curveball and painted fastball. Charlie Morton didn't pitch that great, but got this triple play behind him. Less an outstanding play, and more like absolutely horrible base running. What are they doing? J.P. France had 3 Ks in 7 innings, giving up no earned runs, and had this painted curveball. Austin Gomber had 4 Ks in 6 innings, giving up no runs and only 1 hit. He had this filthy curveball and changeup. He faced Trevor Williams, who had 3 Ks in 6 innings, giving up 4 runs, and had these absolutely overpowering mid-80s fastballs. Check out those flames. Yes, that was my sarcastic voice. Steven Matz had 6 Ks in 6 scoreless innings, thanks to these dirty changeups. He faced off against Merrill Kelly, who had 5 Ks in 6 innings, giving up 1 run, and these fastballs and changeups. Kyle Hendricks had 4 Ks in 6 1/3 innings, giving up 3 runs, and had these wicked changeups. Check out the drop on this one. That is pure filth. And he battled Michael Kopech, who had 5 Ks in 5 innings, giving up 4 earned runs, and had these fastballs and slider. Blake Snell had 4 Ks in 6 innings, giving up only 1 run, and had this wicked curveball and slider, and got a sword. Snell also had this cheese at the knees that got Brian Reynolds put on the eternal IL by the Ripper. There was blood absolutely everywhere. Snell lowered his ERA to an MLB leading 2.61. And I have him as one of the leading Cy Young contenders in the NL in my article over at Fox Sports. Go check it out. Snell outdueled Dick Mountain, who had 3 Ks in 4 1/3 innings, giving up 2 runs, and had this fastball. Griffin Canning had 8 Ks in 5 innings, giving up 2 runs, and had these breaking balls, changeup, and fastball. He faced Eduardo Rodriguez, who had 3 Ks in 4 2/3 innings, giving up 4 runs, and had this pretty inside 2-seamer. Pablo Lopez had 8 Ks in 7 innings, giving up 2 runs, and got his Ks on a variety of pitches, including his fastballs, changeups, curveballs, and sweepers, including this painted sweeper. He battled George Kirby, who had 9 Ks in 4 innings, which are a lot of Ks in 4 innings, but also gave up 5 runs, which are a lot of runs in 4 innings. Kirby got Ks on his 4-seam and 2-seam fastball, his curveballs, and splitters, including this painted splitter. Tyler Glasnow, a.k.a. Dr. Droppenhammer, had 8 Ks in 7 innings, giving up only 1 run, and got Ks mostly on his fastballs and sliders, including this slider to Soler that proved that nuclear energy is far better than solar power. Ninja's got all the dad jokes. And Glasnow also had this back foot slider. He struggled a little bit with curveball command this game, but did have this hammer. Corbin Burnes had 6 Ks in 6 innings, giving up 2 runs, and had this absolutely gorgeous backdoor two-seamer. You can't throw it much better than that. As well as this wipeout slider. And he turned Spencer Steer into Spencer Stare with these two-seamers. Can I help you find something, Spencer? No thanks, I'm just looking. And Burnes was outdueled by yesterday's filthiest starter of the day, Andrew Abbott. Abbott went 6 scoreless innings with 9 Ks, very nice, and lowered his ERA on the season to 1.9. Abbott got Ks on his elevated fastballs, his curveball, and changeup. And check out this overlay of Abbott's fastball and curveball and the exquisite tunneling of these pitches. One of many reasons Abbott has been so good since he's been called up. Now onto my filthiest relievers. Miguel Castro had this slider and changeup. Nick Pivetta had 5 Ks in relief thanks to these fastballs. Bo Brisky had this fastball. And what was noteworthy here wasn't necessarily the fastball, but it was Shohei's reaction to this call. He even disagrees with umpires better than anybody. I'm not mad at you, just a little bit disappointed. Tyler Rogers had these filthy sliders. Camilo Doval had these wicked sliders. Pete Fairbanks had this overpowering 100-mile-an-hour heat. Josh Hader picked up 3 Ks with his fastball and slider combination. Aaron Loop had these dirty changeups. Dowry Moretta had this slider that went 14 inches the wrong way. That thing definitely moves like a changeup. Shintaro Fujinami had this 99-mile-an-hour and 100-mile-an-hour diesel, and then this dirty splitter, and got fired up. You go, Fuji. My filthiest relievers of the day were a tie. The filthiest overall appearance by a reliever yesterday was by Adbert Alzolay. Look at this disgusting stuff. Alzolay had these filthy two-seamers and sliders. And even more filthy was this tunneling. First, here's a slider off the plate that gets a take. So what does Alzolay do? He follows that slider up with this two-seamer in that exact same tunnel, and instead that two-seamer runs back to the plate, getting the backwards K. A fantastic pitch combination. And then in this overlay, Alzolay gets the whiff on this back foot slider, so what does he do? He tunnels a two-seamer in that same tunnel as that back foot slider. And as a hitter, you're thinking, I am not going to swing at this back foot slider again, but instead you get the two-seamer that runs to the plate. Just outstanding stuff by Alzolay. And you can see he was still fired up after the game on Twitter. Rightly so. My filthiest single pitch from a reliever yesterday was this absolute madness by Matt Brash. Brash already has one of the filthiest pitches of the year for his Bohemian Rhapsody slider against Jose Ramirez. But check out this knuckle curve from Matt Brash. He nutmegs Castro. At first I thought he got hit on the foot, but nope, this is between his legs. This knuckle curve had 3,135 RPMs and was as filthy a pitch as you'll ever see. And now, my pitching ninja moment of zen. One of the few ways to get Zach Greinke to smile. Miles Straw, who's formerly a teammate with Zach Greinke, walked up to Greinke's walkout song, Seminole Win by John Anderson. Baseball is awesome. What's up, everybody? My picks of the day today are a 3-leg parlay. First, I'm going to start out with the same game parlay of Bryce Miller for 5 Ks or more and Joe Ryan for 7 Ks or more. And then I'm going to top it off with Spencer Strider for 9 Ks or more. What would your picks of the day be?